Here we go.
I was talking like we're gonna see Luminous and Cheja, but no, we
Oh,
got
getting
PENn and Null.
yeah. So I'm really excited to see Null's gameplay because Null has been kind of popping off lately, just with Wi-Fi entrance lately. Also a member of my Wi-Fi crew Grunt Gang, so I gotta represent. But we're seeing him out here, and he's been a monster in every facet, like both crew battles and in tournament. Like my man is a monster on min. Probably ought to see like a top 5 Wi-Fi or top 5 min. I'd confidently say right now, maybe.
There's not
He's
many.
really good.
Well,
yeah.
There's a lot in Japan, but there's not many in the US.
They love min. But US, in terms of North America min, there's not too many out there.
It's really insane how like characters can super swing. The prime example previously was ZSS. Like, Japan thought ZSS was top 3 easy.
Yeah.
Min is up there as well, where like US is trying to figure out still like where Min can really be placed, and Japan is like, no, this character is easily a threat and easily a top tier. Which, take that for what you will.
What? That was so smart, using the megawatt right there to stage spike, force an attackable. That was insane, and the hitbox on it is so active too. Like I would have never thought to just run off and go for a stage spike like that. Like it's just that creativity, I feel like, that makes Min shine more or less. Like, also just love the range Null has been playing at so far, just like not letting PENn in whatsoever, just managing their punches really nicely. Not letting him play the game at all.
They outrange every character in this game, and if you're gonna pick Min, you better try and use it. Like, I know Min has some decent combos out of things like falling up air, out of down tilt, but at the end of the day, the bread and butter of this character is the name of her series, arms. Like, if you're not using the arms, why are you playing Min?
That's insane.
Wow,
that's the second stock they got off of it, and I obviously Bowser's not one of the best recoveries out there. I feel like yeah, he can make it back from deep, but he's kind of slow, big, and he's pretty susceptible to getting edge guarded depending on how you can attack him. And if you have a character like Min where you can kind of safely outrange the other character, like, you'll just be putting on a ton of percent in damage right there. PENn has just not been able to play whatsoever though this entire game. It's just that he's been getting consistently outranged, and he's been trying to jump in to close in space instead of, I feel like, doing what he should be doing, which is like walking or just taking it a little bit slowly.
Yeah,
it's
a double-edged sword, right? Because Min doesn't have the greatest anti-airs. Like, one of the biggest flaws of this character, besides the edge guarding, is or getting edge guarded rather, is all of her best buttons are rather linear. Like, her best anti-air tool is something like up smash, and you don't always want to be swinging that around willy-nilly. But keeping Bowser out is something that characters have been doing for years with less range, and if you give the character full stage reach, like, it's hard for Bowser to avoid so many of those tools because he's just so big.
That looked rough for my man PENn. Like, they just didn't seem like they were able to get in whatsoever. Null was only really swinging. Like, I don't think they were really only swinging when they knew they were able to get a hit in, or like able to keep putting space between himself and PENn. Like, and he kept the mix-ups really nice too. Like, that pivot grab was very excellent right there. Just keeping a very nice range against Bowser. It's crazy because on a stage like Smashville, you're like, oh well, I can, close in the space between me and Min a lot quicker. But when her moves literally are full stage attacks, it's like, what can you do to not get hit?
Look at this Ram right now. Like, it's covering the space between ledge and Smashville platform by itself.
That's insane. We got a Min scientist on our hands right here.
Yeah, it's an orchestra and Bowser's the fiddle.
He just like can't get in. I feel like this might be not the greatest matchup for Bowser either, because when Bowser does get in, he can do damage, but given that he is a heavy, his giant hurt box makes him pretty susceptible getting clipped by almost everything Min can throw out. So you gotta really have a tight neutral, I feel like, to play well in this matchup.
Yeah, you can't always fully rely on Bowser's out of shield game, because Megawatt does so much shield damage. if you're gonna try an edge guard, like Bowser doesn't have the air speed to cover multiple options, so Min can, the Min player can choose to go high or low, and it's her tether, funnily enough, is the fastest to go from grabbing ledge with the tether to pulling Min up. That's a shame.
What happened?
No jump, I think.
Oh, okay, big trade right there.
This is a much better look than the first game, though.
Yeah, that I think PENn has done a lot better at finding what Min does struggle with, which is recovering a lot of the time, because recovery honestly isn't the greatest if you do put her out far enough off stage without a jump. She can also really not throw out a lot of options when she is off stage. Like, only I'd say right at the beginning of when she gets hit can she counter hit you back. So if you're almost just waiting a little bit for her to swing, or waiting for her to be in a really bad spot, Bowser has no trouble just doing runoff fair and getting in there quickly.
It's just a matter of, will Bowser have enough time? Hit a Megawatt. That sucks.
Yeah, Megawatt Nair trading with, looks like attempted down air right there.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And it won. Megawatt's nuts.
Megawatt's insane. Like, it's insane because, like, you're always trying to have on the second arm, the special arm, either Ram or Megawatt. And Ram is arguably the better of the two, like having better frame data and a more, like, just straight up cheating with down-angled Megawatt to cover, down-angled Ram to cover the ledge. But as we say all this about, oh wait a minute, hold on.
Good, really good stuff by PENn on saving the jump right there. Oh my gosh, this is like very, very scary for PENn. Like, they're doing so much better this game, though, I've got to say. I don't know if you want to be putting yourself back on ledge against Min. Oh god.
These neutral getups are starting to come out in full force, and you mentioned it before, Megawatt is so active that you can just have it stick right on the neutral getup space.
Oh!
Mashing out of this.
What?
Okay, not dead yet.
The mash out of hit stun with Megawatt. Oh, great grab, punishing the end lag on the arms, coming right back. Tried to go for the big punish right there with the fair. That might have been able to kill, but rolls into the up smash. He doesn't die!
Bowser, heaviest character in the game for a reason. 169 and still living.
Oh no, that's is what I would say. Did the light hit instead of the hard hit, but that should be it. Right.
All right, there it is.
Megawatt allows also for Min to kind of play Bowser's game, but at a harder range. Like, it hits super hard, sends kind of far, does a lot of damage. It's basically having like a heavy strapped to your hand, but not actually being a heavy.
I love how Null approach ledge trapping as well, because he's taking the idea of, okay, Min's really susceptible to jump ins, but instead of trying to turtle down and wait for the jump aerials, he's instead preemptively covering those options by throwing out in that last clip, in the last kill, he threw out Megawatt to cover the neutral getup, but then jumped with it so that he could throw out the second arm to cover the potential jump from ledge or jump out of shield should the Megawatt miss.
Min is all coverage. Min is the Verizon mascot. There's just coverage on all fronts. Even after you throw out one arm, you can, like you said, jump out and throw the next one out. So you can cover so much airspace without sacrificing any of your mobility, really. Because Min doesn't have like a lot of mobility to begin with, but the arms do so much of the work for her. Like,